Jasmine, are you ready to get started? Hello.
Well, good afternoon.
I'm ready to rock and roll. It's Friday, y'all.
Judge Mister, you ready to get started?
All right, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
All right, we'll get ready to start. We're going to begin our Fulton County State Court Expedited Accusations calendar. And this is a calendar for cases in which individuals have recently been arrested and charged with certain misdemeanor offenses. Soon after their arrest, the Fulton County Solicitor General's office has already accused these cases of the offenses brought against them, and the cases have been bound over to the Fulton County State Court. Nevertheless, this will usually be the defendant's initial appearance before a state court judge, so we are able to address several matters, including bond, possible arraignment, and a possible plea offer if one has been made by the state at this juncture. I want to remind you that the SAP reset date is June the 5th, and I believe that is correct. Yes. SAP reset date is June the 5th. I want to remind the defendants on this calendar that you have certain constitutional rights. The first being that you have a right to have counsel present and representing you today. Most of you should know who your attorneys are, and you should have spoken to them by this time. I want to also remind the defendants that you have the right to remain silent. Remember that anything that you state about the facts or the circumstances of your case can and will be held against you, so please follow the lead of your attorney. And one other thing that I forgot to mention, this whole entire proceeding is being recorded as well as live streamed on YouTube. So govern yourselves accordingly. And again, follow the lead of your attorney. Who do we have first, deputies?
We can start with position 3, Ms. McLeod's client. This is Nicholas Harris.
Okay. And this is position 3, which is case number 25 CR 002913Y. Nicholas Harris charged with 1 count possession of a pistol or revolver by a person under the age of 18 years. Oh,
It's first adult arrest. You got a bench warrant out of Judge Cox.
okay. Date.
Oh, good afternoon, Your Honor. I'm sorry. Thank you. This incident occurred on May 22nd, 2025. Officers were working an Operation Kickstart, which is a multi-agency unit operation. One of the investigators stated that he had located a wanted person, Mr. Nicholas Harris, which would be the defendant in this case. He observed Mr. Harris at 2001 Lois Place. He advised other investigators that Mr. Harris was wearing all black with black slippers on and walking down the street. Officers made contact with the defendant, who immediately complied and was detained without incident. And once he was in custody, officers checked him for weapons, and the defendant admitted that he did have a weapon on his person. He had a gun in his waistband. Officers did retrieve the weapon and recovered a black and silver Smith & Wesson 9mm handgun. The state's recommendation is $1,000 surety bond. We're asking for no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while on bond, and that'll be all for the state, Your Honor.
All right. All right, Attorney
Good
McLeod.
afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
I would be asking for a signature bond for my client. Your Honor, he is 17 years old. He tells me he is currently a 12th grader at Hank Aaron School, and he lives with his mom. He is not employed, Your Honor, so of course he's not in a position to pay bond. And given his age, we wouldn't want him to be sitting around in Fulton County Jail with people who are a lot older and certainly a lot more ingrained in crime than he is, Your Honor. So based on that, I'm going to ask for a signature bond for him.
All right. Is his mother or adult someone on Zoom?
His mom, Your Honor. I have not been able to speak with her yet, but I have a number for her.
Well, he has a bench warrant,
I understand, Your Honor.
so I'm assuming he's not going anywhere.
That would be the assumption, Your Honor, unfortunately. But I wouldn't want this to hold him up in the event that he's taken to court quickly to deal with this bench warrant.
Your Honor, if I may, the state does have some concerns because the warrant did state that the defendant was a suspect in a previous ag assault, and the operations unit is a gang unit. So if the court be so inclined to grant him a signature bond, we would ask that it be with a legal guardian signature, someone like his mother, if the defense can get in contact with her.
I certainly will be trying to get in touch with his mom, but I will say being a suspect is not the same as actually being charged.
You have not had a chance to speak to the guardian or the mother or any parent have not spoken to them.
Not yet, Your Honor, but I will continue to try and reach out to mom.
All right, I will, I'm gonna grant a $2,000 signature bond with a cosigner.
Yes, Your Honor.
And with that signature bond, it's gonna be on a curfew. And that will
Yes, Your Honor.
be from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. since he's still in high school.
The
Yes.
curfew is what?
7
7 to 8.
7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
So he can come out after 8 p.m.?
Oh, I said that backwards, didn't I? I mean 8 p.m. to
PM to
7
7
a.m.
a.m.
Yeah, I said that backwards. Thank you. No wonder you were asking me. I'm sorry, 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. And going to require that he continue to pursue his education. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, unprescribed medication, guns or knives while on bond. If he still has that gun, he needs to surrender it to the sheriff's department or any other weapons that he may have legally or illegally. He should surrender them to the sheriff's department immediately. But he
This
cannot.
SOB jail?
Yes,
Because I know I said he had a bench warrant, so I was just wondering.
right. SOB jail. But he cannot be released until we have a cosigner.
And
Thank
who
you,
was
Your
the
Honor. I'll try to
cosigner?
get in touch with his mom.
Do y'all have
I'm
a name of the cosigner or just anybody particular?
I think Miss McLeod has not contacted or had contact yet, unfortunately, Miss Lewis. So I don't know if
That's
you want to
correct, but
give
I
the
will be
moms.
continuing to try to get mom.
Because if I put cosigner on the thing, they're gonna want a name or just a parent. I don't know. That's why I'm just trying to.
I have her name.
You have her name?
I do, yes.
Can you tell me?
Just a moment and I'll tell you what her name is.
Your Honor, just for clarification purposes, the bench warrant or failure to appear this young man has us for an open armed robbery in Superior Court, charged as an adult.
I do understand. I'm assuming that warrant is going to be executed. So this case won't particularly hold him in. I'm assuming they will go get him on it.
No,
He
he's
has
already
an
booked in
open
on it,
case.
Judge.
Yeah,
He's
he
already
failed
booked in
to
on his family.
appear. I guess the purpose of the information is to underscore the fact that he's probably out on a bond requiring he have no firearms and not further violate the law. And he has an open, already indicted felony case for an armed robbery.
His mother's name is Octavia Harris.
And I do understand that, ASG Allen.
Thank you.
I guess this one is the least of his worries at the moment, but hopefully he won't be going anywhere, but then he would have SOB on this one and not make bond or not get out, especially if we don't have a cosigner. And then the other, if they revoke him, then he would just transfer over to the felony or to that other warrant. And I'm only
I'm not
guessing.
sure, but I think an SOB with pretrial would be more appropriate than through the jail.
Well, I don't know if he's going to be able to comply with that if he's going to be locked up. And pretrial, it sounds like may not take him because of the open case.
Well, then I think we should be asking for a surety bond.
Well, the judge has already ruled.
Okay, well, that's my response. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'll leave the ruling as it is. Thank you. All right.
So Judge, what's the clarification? It's gonna be a $2,000 SOB through the jail with a co-signer with his mom?
Yes,
Okay. Thank you.
thank you.
Position number 1, Browning.
This is 25 CR 002916E Andra Browning. Charged with 1 count of battery family violence.
55 total. He has FS charges and 2 holds. Open suspended license, open entering auto. On probation, possession of tools. That's out of COB. 2023 FTA, 2023 battery DV conviction. 2018 battery DV, no low, stalking, no low.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor, this incident occurred on June 25th, 2024. Officers were dispatched to 1261 Oak Street, Southwest, regarding a dispute. Upon arrival, they met with Miss Tiffany Turner, who stated that at 2:30 a.m., her and her boyfriend of 2 years, which is the defendant in this case, were headed to a laundromat on Greenbrier Parkway. As she was driving, she accidentally passed the location and pulled into a subsequent parking lot to turn around because she didn't want to make an illegal U-turn. And that's when the defendant woke up. And he woke up angry and stated that she pulled into a parking lot nearby police officers. So he then instructed her to go straight instead of turning around and going to the laundromat and get on the expressway. As she was driving on the expressway, the defendant was still yelling and being upset, and he struck her 3 times in her face while she was driving and told her to pull over, get out of the car, and allow him to drive. She got out of the car, walked to the gas station, and called the police to report the incident. While police officers were on the scene, they did see the defendant drive back around in the car and attempted to pursue him, but were unable to detain him at that time. Officers did notice that there was swelling and redness on Miss Turner's eye. We spoke to the victim today. She stated that they are no longer in a relationship. They do not live together. They share no children. She did confirm the events in the warrant. She stated that she has not towards her, but that was the first time he had been physically violent toward her. She has since moved from their residence and he does not know where she currently lives, but she does wish to have no contact with him. We believe she's joined us in court today, and as such, the state's recommendation is a $2,000 surety bond, no further violent contact with the victim, no alcohol, drugs, or firearms while on bond, and a 1-day anger awareness class. We're also asking to sound for the victim, Ms. Tiffany Turner. And that'll be all for the state.
All right, it's Tiffany Turner. All right, she's not. Go ahead, PD. Is it Adir?
Yes, it's Aya Batter. Thank you, Judge.
Batter.
Mr. Browning is 49 years old. He has ties to the community. He's lived here his whole life. He has a good address where he will receive notice in the mail for court. He has children, grandchildren, and an elderly aunt that he cares for. He also manages 4 different car washes. He is employed. As you've heard, this warrant is nearly 1 year old. They are no longer in a relationship. Mr. Browning does not wish to have contact with the complaining witness in this case. He does deny these allegations. At this point in time, we are asking for the bond not to exceed $1,000.
And Your Honor, the state just wants to note for the record that the defendant's prior battery conviction in case 23CR001736B is from the disposition is July 2023, and there was a 24-month probation period, which would end in July 2025. Although it was another victim, a different person, the defendant is still under sentence in that case.
All right. I will order a $2,000 surety bond. I will order no further contact with the victim, Tiffany Turner. I'm going to order that he stay away from her residence and job wherever she may reside or work. I'm going to order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I think that'll be it. Anything else, counsel? All right, that'll be it.
Position number 16, Yarborough.
You told me.
This is 25 CR 002904G Trevon Yarborough, charged with one count of possession of dangerous drugs. Free
Triple
trial.
arrest. Got open theft by receiving reckless conduct. It's 24 PI 003208. Open fleeing an officer, possession of a knife or a firearm during the commission. Theft by receiving, obstruction, concealing license plate. Seatbelt, reckless driving, tampering with evidence. Reckless conduct, hit and run. 24 PI 004958. Jail is a recommendation.
Jake,
Your Honor, this incident date was May 22nd, 2025 at 3042 Middletown Road Northwest in Atlanta. Officers were conducting a suspicious person stop. There was another person of interest when the defendant had pulled up, appeared to be smoking a marijuana blunt with two other males. Officers arrived to speak with all individuals outside. The group tried to disperse. They ended up recovering, it looks like, a raw marijuana bag in the grass. Defendant, who officers later identified, had a large bottle of nitrous oxide that the officers recognized from previous arrests, encounters with the drug. The bottle was labeled, and the label stated that it was for culinary use only. Officers asked him, was the bottle his? He said yes, and he was placed under arrest. He did tell officers he bought the bottle at a gas station as it's used as an inhalant, I guess. The state is looking for a signature bond through pre-trial just based on previous arrest history. We're gonna ask for no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
all right.
No objection, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, I will order that $2,000 SOB. How old is Mr. Yarborough?
19.
I will order that through pretrial per judge. I will also order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I think that will be it.
What level?
Level
What-
two,
what-
two, two.
Level 2.
Thank you. All right.
Next is position number 6, Mr. Hines.
This is first arrest.
Okay. This is 25 CR 002915J. Chan Hines charged with one count of simple battery family violence and 2 counts of battery family violence.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident occurred on May 22nd, 2025. Officers were dispatched to 2297 Boulevard, Granada Southwest in reference to a dispute call. Upon arrival, they met with the victim and the caller, who's identified as Miss Bethany Monroe. She stated that she is in a relationship with the defendant. Mr. Hines. They have been in a relationship for approximately 7 years and have been living together at this location for 6 months. She informed officers that the defendant was playing music. She attempted to turn the music off. The music was playing from his phone. They both began to fight over the phone, and at that point, the defendant put her in a chokehold and held her down. She bit him in an attempt to get him off of her, and then he struck her with a closed fist. At the scene, Mr. Hines, the defendant, did confirm the incidents to officers. He stated that he put Miss Monroe in a chokehold and he held her down because she was trying to grab his phone. He also told officers that she bit his arm and he struck her with a closed fist. Officers observed redness around Miss Monroe's neck and redness on her face. We did speak to the victim today. She stated that they are in a relationship. They do live together at the incident location. They don't have any children together. She did confirm the events in the warrant. And she stated that when she called the police, the defendant punched her in the face. She rated the defendant's grip on her neck at a 10 and said she could not breathe, but she did not lose consciousness. She stated that this is not the first time the defendant has been violent towards her, but it's the first time the police have been involved. She does want to have continued contact with the defendant and wishes for him to return to the residence. However, when asked if she felt comfortable, the victim did hesitate. As such, the state does have some concerns about her safety. The state's recommendation here is a $2,000 surety bond. I'm sorry. We're asking for no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while the defendant is on bond, a 1-day anger awareness course. We're asking for no further violent contact with the victim, but we'd like to do a stay away from the incident location and allow the defendant a one-time police escort to the residence to retrieve his items. We'd like to sound for the victim, Miss Monroe, at this time, and that'll be all for the state.
Miss Monroe? Miss Monroe, did you all have contact with her or you spoke with her?
We did. She did say that she informed our advocates that she would be on the Zoom, but I don't see her here.
Did she request no further violent contact?
No, Your Honor, she requested contact, but as I stated, she hesitated when we asked if she feared for her safety or if she felt comfortable with him in the house. So we did still have reservations about her safety.
All right. You did?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Hines is 45 years old. His address is the address on the incident location. He has been in Atlanta for 2 years. He's been a chef for 7 years, and that's what he currently works as. He does also pay child support. His children are not with the complaining witness in this case, but he does pay child support for his children. Your Honor, this address is his address. He does pay the rent. So we would object to a stay away in this case. This is his first arrest, so we believe that a signature bond would be more appropriate. Judge, so that's what we're asking for. It sounds like the complaining witness in this case does want contact. We would object to the stay away. Thank you.
And Your Honor, just for the record, I did want to note that we have arrest cycles from out of state from Louisiana for this defendant. We have 7 arrest cycles from Louisiana and just 1 arrest from Georgia.
Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, but just go with their history then. They didn't have it in mind. It's Hines.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even attach the history to this. They just put first in the PSA. State, what arrest do you have?
I'll go through them. I didn't have any violent offenses. They were mostly, I believe, possessions. Give me one second. Going back up. Yeah, we have. Okay, here we go. Louisiana looks a little different. Arrest out of Jefferson County, one in 1999. Marijuana possession, disposition unknown. Another one from 2003. It's a possession with a distribution. I can't see the disposition here. Disposition that was a guilty sentence for that one in 2003. And another one in 2003, which is what's the charge? Yeah, I can't. Let me make them larger. 1 second. Yeah, some of them don't state exactly what they are. They're like attach unknown. One of them is a fugitive thing, so it's an FTA, but there are 7 cycles in Louisiana out of Jefferson County.
And the most recent being 2003,
2004, Your Honor.
2004. All right. I'm going to, due to the nature of the allegations, and this is 20 hasn't been 24 hours probably yet or close to it. Want to make sure there's been the ample cooling off period. And he's only been in Atlanta for 2 years.
And Judge, just for clarity's sake, he did tell me that he does have a friend in town. He believes he would be able to get a residence other than this one. Our priority would be the signature bond, rather than him returning to the residence. I just wanted to put it on the record that this is a place where he pays rent, and we would ultimately rather him be able to return, but we would rather him have a signature bond and have to reside elsewhere for the time being.
All right. And I guess with the other cycles, with the 7 other cycles, however, the most recent being 2004, and nothing violent, I will, I'm going to grant a $2,000, I'm sorry, a $3,000 signature bond. And that's 1,000 on each of the charges. And with that $3,000 signature bond, and I will make it through the jail. I'm sorry, pretrial. And I will ask that he take a 2-day anger awareness course through pretrial. And I'll put him on level 1. And I'm also going to order him to stay away from the incident location. No further violent contact with the victim. One-time law enforcement escort to return to retrieve his personal belongings.
Thank you, Judge.
Does he live here?
It said he'd been in Atlanta 2 years. Does he have an Atlanta
Okay.
address?
Your Honor, he does have a friend that he'll be able to live with, and he believes that he has the means to obtain a separate address. So I let him know that he'll have to update his address at the courthouse with the clerk's office.
All right.
Your Honor, I just wanted to bring it to the attention of the court that my client, Mr. Harris's mom, is now on, Octavia Harris.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Let me recess 1 second. Deputies, before we begin with this case, let me ask a question and ask that you bring back, I thought he was still in the courtroom, Nicholas Harris.
Well, we have to get someone to retrieve him. I'm in the courtroom by myself at this moment, so we have to stand by.
All right, because I need to readdress some of his bond conditions. All right, and who do we have before us now?
They want to do number 12 in Alpharetta jail.
12 in Alpharetta, okay. All right, this is position 25CR00. I'm sorry, case number 25CR002905J Thomas, and I'm not for sure, is it Malura? Charge of 1 count of battery family violence.
7, 2024 theft by taking, 2019 FTA, 2017 theft by taking, has a probation hold, so ain't going nowhere. Jail is a recommendation.
All right. State.
This is my case, Your Honor. Sorry, 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, this incident date was May 22nd, 2025, 450 Tramore Circle in Roswell. Victim in this case is Whitney Malara. Defendant, the warrant was a little brief, but it says defendant caused harm to Miss Malora, who's the ex-spouse of him. He was pulling the seatbelt tightly at her shoulder to retain her within the seat of the vehicle. When she let him know it was hurting her and tried to ask him to let her go, he grabbed her neck with the hand in a forceful manner. She had several red markings to the side of her neck and hairline. Our office did have a chance to speak to the victim. She stated that they are divorced. They do not live together. They share 2 children. She stated the incident location is the defendant's residence. She stated she went over there to drop the children off. She was sitting in the driver's seat of her car and defendant was at her window. They were having an argument about summer camp for the children. Defendant grabbed the seatbelt, pulled it tight around her. She stated that when the defendant let go, he grabbed her by her neck and began to squeeze it really tight, and she rated the defendant's grip an 8. She stated she was able to breathe, but didn't feel like she was going to lose consciousness. She also stated there's been previous violence in their relationship in the past when they were married, but it's the first time it's escalated to this. She stated that this is the first time the police have been involved. She did say she's not in fear of the defendant and wants no violent contact, and she is on Zoom, so we can sound for her in accordance with Marcy's law when appropriate. The state is looking for a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial. We're going to ask for no further contacts with Miss Malora. We're going to ask for a stay away from Miss Malora's address, third-party transfer of the children, 2-day anger awareness, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
All right. PD McLean.
No. Thank you.
Can't hear you. Bad connection.
Bad connection, sorry. No objection, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor,
So,
we can sound for Miss Malora. She is on Zoom if she wants to make a statement.
Miss Malora, do you wish to address the court today?
No, ma'am.
All right. I will order the $2,000 signature bond through pretrial. And that will be at a level, I guess a level 1.
2 is fine.
2, at a level 2. With that $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2, I'm gonna have him to take a 2-day anger awareness course. I'm going to order no further contact with the victim and to stay away from her residence and her job. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And if she allows visitation with the children, that will have to be precipitated by a third party. And is there anything else, counsel?
Your Honor, we've heard some concerns about logistics involving lately when they don't move people from the Alpharetta jail to our hearing. And if there's a bond given or bond made or a signature bond given, there's been some problems in delay. So if there's anything the court can say about, I don't know if there's any way to release them from the Alpharetta jail. I'd love that if that's possible. I know sometimes people in the past have made bonds at the Alpharetta jail and gotten out, but I don't know if being on the SCA precludes that, but I'd request that if it's possible. I just don't know if it's possible. I'll be calling the record room and encouraging them.
I'm not for sure what you're asking me to do. I don't know that I have the powers to
Right.
say, release him and hurry up.
Yeah, you don't.
We could say maybe release from Alpharetta jail if possible, as part of the order.
I'm sorry, Judge, it's not possible because he has to be fingerprinted at the main jail.
That's probably the issue. Yeah,
All right,
I
well,
would not want to put that in there. I don't feel comfortable doing that, and I don't think I have the authority to circumvent their procedures and processes, unfortunately.
definitely has to be fingerprinted. We recognize that. Thank you, though.
All right, thank you.
What was that amount?
2,000.
All right.
What do we have next, deputies?
We can go ahead and do number 8, Mr. Houston. If AC.
Okay.
Older. Who is older?
Position 8 is 25 CR 002908B, Corey Leon Houston. And that's 1 count of criminal trespass.
31. On they got probation parole out of the cab for terrorist threats. Open case out of the cab for battery DV, 2024 trespass conviction, another 2024 trespass conviction, 2023 trespass no load, 2023 trespass conviction, 2019 disorderly conduct conviction, 2016 false imprisonment conviction, 2015 trespass conviction. The defendant is homeless, according to the book.
All right.
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor. Good afternoon. The
Good afternoon.
state is asking for a $2,000 surety bond for the criminal trespass. This occurred on May 22nd, 2025. Officer Lewis was alerted by off-duty Officer Martin that a male was issued a criminal trespass by Security Officer Martin, that he was back on the property. The male was identified as Corey Houston here, the defendant. As Mr. Houston was being taken into custody, Security Officer confirmed that he was criminally trespassed due to his unruly behavior on May 21st, 2025. And Security Officer Martin is an extension of the First Presbyterian Church and had given Mr. Houston the criminal trespass order in the presence of Sergeant Rollins. I believe he does actually have Florida criminal history as well. 2004 arrest for aggravated battery and assault, 1995, 97 obstruction and trespass, as well as several trespassing and theft, burglary related arrests and convictions, along with ag battery and battery as well. State's going to ask for a social worker to see if there's any housing needs or issues. Stay away from the First Presbyterian Church, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
All right. PD?
Yes,
Is the
Judge.
victim on the line? I'm sorry, I didn't ask. No? All right, go ahead.
Mr. Houston is 48 years old. He's been in Atlanta since 2006. As you heard, well, a lot of his recent history anyway is having to do with that he's residentially challenged. He had an interview today for a warehouse job. He gets Social Security. Judge, we don't object to a stay away and no contact. As you heard, this address is the address of a church. He was at one point getting mail there. He has a different address where he can get mail, and he's aware that our office can assist with housing. he would need a signature bond to be released. This is a nonviolent allegation, so we are asking for that today.
Can somebody tell me what was the name of the victim y'all said was in the States?
I'm sorry?
What was the name of the victim? They said no further contact with somebody? Or down
No,
this?
this is a trespass. This is trespass for First Presbyterian Church.
Okay.
Well, so there is no, so stay
Oh, I
away
thought
from
I
the
heard.
church.
Oh.
All right, I'm going to order the $2,000 surety bond. I'm going to order him to stay away from the Presbyterian Church. And I'm going to order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I believe that's it because there's no particular victim. Anything else, Ken?
State still wants to see about maybe a social worker for his housing needs.
Okay, social worker visit. All right, order that. Anything else? Nope. All right.
Your Honor, it's ACDC right?
Okay. Who do you have there at ACDC?
I have position number 5, Ms. Gill. And that's 55 case.
I can barely hear you.
I have position number 5, Ms. Gill, and that's Ms. McLeod's client.
I'm not for sure the last thing I heard, position 5, Ms. Hill, and then you said something else. It's
It
just
was
not.
my client, Your Honor. It's Miss McLeod's
Okay, that
client.
may is what she said. Okay, sorry. It's not a great connection. 25 CR 002906C, Jamaica Hill, charged with 1 count of battery, family violence, 1 count of simple assault, and 1 count of reckless conduct.
I got 2011 forgery in the first, possession of marijuana. Hey, this was a low one.
Okay. State.
This would be my case. The incident location is 4120 Fulton Industrial Boulevard in Atlanta. The victim I'm sorry, this is Jamaica Hill, correct?
Correct.
Just making sure. The victim in this case is Tremaine Harris. Tremaine spelled Tremain. Officers were dispatched to the address regarding a person falling down the stairs. They met with the victim, Mr. Harris, who stated he didn't fall down the stairs. He was pushed by his girlfriend, who was the defendant. They were arguing and heading back to their room on the 3rd floor of the hotel. When they got to the top of the stairs, she started shouting at him, grabbed him by the neck, and pushed him down the stairs. Victim stated they had been staying in room 318 at the hotel for a year. Defendant initially, well, she told officers she didn't intentionally push him down the stairs, but there's video evidence that the police watched where they show her holding him in a headlock and then pushing him down the stairs. He had visible injuries to his right shoulder and back of his head. Given that there's 3 charges, the state is looking for a $4,000 surety bond. I'm going to ask for 2 on the battery, 2 on the reckless, 1 on the simple. No further contact with Tremaine Harris. We're going to ask for a stay away from this hotel address. And we're going to ask for 1 day anger awareness, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while on bond. And our office was unable to get in contact with Mr. Harris at this time.
All right. Attorney McLeod.
Yes, Your Honor. I would be asking for a signature bond for my client, given her very limited history and also the fact that she has no history of violence at all. She's 40 years old, Your Honor. She's a native of Atlanta. I think I think a signature bond is definitely appropriate under the circumstances and her history. She will also need a one-time police escort, Your Honor, to check to make sure that her belongings have been removed from the location. She believes that she may still have something there, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm going to order the $4,000 signature bond through pretrial per judge. And that'll be 2,000 on the battery, 1,000 on the simple assault, and 1,000 on the reckless. And I'm going to order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. I'm going to order the one-time law enforcement escort back to the location to retrieve any personal belongings that she may have, and no further contact with Mr. Harris. And I guess I will put her at a level 1. And I believe that's it. Anything else, counsel?
You ordered the stay away, correct? I didn't hear that part, just confirming.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Stay away from that incident location. And no further
Thank you, Your
comment.
Honor.
All right.
Position 9, Mr. Lewis.
25 CR 002909G. Kalon Lewis, charged with 1 count of criminal trespass.
14, got an open criminal damage to property, 2nd degree, trespass. It's 25 PI 001-788. Has an open shoplifting as well, 2024 simple assault conviction, 2022 trespass conviction, 2022 obstruction trespass conviction, 2021 trespass, shoplifting conviction, 2020 stalking conviction, and a 06 robbery, ag assault conviction.
All right. State.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor. The state is going to ask for a $2,500 surety bond for the criminal trespass. On May 22nd at approximately 10:30 a.m., officer was dispatched to Wildwood Park townhouses located at 405 Fairburn Road. And the call was regarding a report of criminal trespass. And upon arriving at the scene, the officer entered the property and spotted Miss Charlene Levy, the property manager there, standing in the clubhouse, and she appeared concerned and led officers to the back desk where the officer found Mr. Lewis, the defendant, sprawled out on the floor in a deep sleep. Now, Mr. Levy, or Miss Levy, excuse me, reported that Mr. Lewis had been issued a criminal trespass warning by Officer Pierre in the past, and she emphasized that Mr. Lewis is forbidden from entering the premises. Despite her multiple requests for him to leave the location, he stubbornly refused to comply and was abruptly awakened from deep sleep and arrested by the officer. This defendant has already pled guilty to a criminal trespass on this same property in 2022. In that case, the defendant pled guilty. I think it was 12 months with 12 days credit for time served, balance suspended, regarding the same property here, the Wildwood Park townhomes, in July 14th, 2022. State is asking that this defendant be placed on the competency docket or the calendar. And I want to emphasize that a surety bond is needed here. This defendant has a violent criminal history, as you've heard, including the armed robbery and ag assault in 2006. The defendant even pled guilty on August 28th, 2024, in an ag assault case in Superior Court. He pled to misdemeanors, and his sentence was to serve 24 months. The state is going to ask for a social worker visit. Stay away from the incident location, meaning stay off the property, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
All right. PD McClain.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Lewis' brother is here in town. He has community contacts. He's from Georgia. He has resources where he could stay. We'll probably have the social worker talk to him about housing matters and other matters he needs to consult with them on, Your Honor. We'd ask the court to set the bond as low as possible under the circumstances. Thank you.
All right. I will order that 2,500 surety bond. It's based on the history here. And with that surety bond, again, is ordered to stay away from the Wildwood Park townhomes, to not go back there. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. Social worker visit. And I guess they can determine, I don't know if we are, Ms. Lewis, about placing him on the competency calendar or not, or see what the social worker visit states.
Judge, they'll make that decision, if he doesn't get out, by, within 2 weeks.
Okay,
I gotta go on to any other different calendar than the SAP.
right. All right, thank you.
This is position number 15, Miss Weathersby.
This is 25 CR 002912B. And this is Contrice Weathersby, charged with 1 count of simple battery family violence and a 2nd count of battery family violence.
It's a third.
Pre-trial.
She got open trespass in Clayton County. 2 counts of simple assault open out of Clayton County as well.
All right. State.
Yes, Your Honor, the state's going to ask for a $1,500 surety bond for the simple battery family violence and $1,500 surety bond for the battery family violence. On May 22nd, 2025, officers responded to 3456 Meadow Lane Place, Southwest, for a call regarding a physical altercation. Upon arrival, the officer met with Ms. Contrell Weathersby, who reported that she had been involved in a physical altercation with her daughter, the defendant, at the residence. And Ms. Weathersby stated that the defendant was off her prescribed medication and suffers from MH issues. She had visible minor bruising to her chest and face, consistent with her account of the incident. And according to Ms. Weathersby, the altercation began when the defendant entered her bedroom and started an argument over money for food. The defendant allegedly began yelling and became physically aggressive, demanding money. Now, Ms. Weathersby attempted to remove herself from the situation by closing her bedroom door, but the defendant kicked it open and then struck her mother in the face with a closed fist. And as Ms. Weathersby tried to exit the room, the defendant continued to strike her repeatedly with both open hands and closed fists. Ms. Weathersby stated that she even eventually defended herself and fled this residence to contact police. Officer then made contact with the defendant, stated her mother had struck her in the face with a set of keys and refused to give her money to order food. And she further claimed that her mother yelled at her and physically assaulted her first, prompting her to defend herself. She later admitted that she was offered medication and confirmed MH issues. Now, based on these statements from both the parties, the officer, and the observable injuries from the mother, the officer did place the defendant under arrest. Now, our office has spoken with the victim. The victim is the mother, of course, of the defendant. They lived together at the incident location. The victim confirmed the events in the warrant and stated that the defendant does have MH issues and has been off her medication for about a month. The victim stated that there is a potential mix-up at the pharmacy, and the defendant has not had the proper medication. The victim stated that it is not the first time the defendant has been violent towards her. And she further stated that she does not want contact with the defendant and wants her to stay away from the residence. Defendant will need a one-time law enforcement escort to retrieve her belongings. I believe the victim may be on Zoom as well. The state is going to ask for no further contact with the victim and stay away from the address. Again, that's 3456 Meadow Lane Place, Southwest, as well as no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
Okay. PD McLean.
This is my case, Your Honor. I wasn't sure if
Oh, I'm sorry.
the court was going to sound for the mother.
Okay. Is Miss Weathersby on? Contrell Weathersby? No. All right, go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Weathersby is 19 years old. She was born and raised in Georgia. She also has an aunt and a grandmother who she can reside with. So I also have that address. It's 1409 Mash Road in Atlanta, Georgia. She is in contact with her grandmother and aunt who say that she can live with them. She currently has a job at Church's Chicken. We don't object to the stay away from the residence since she does have alternative residence and familial support. There is MH here. We just want to clarify that unfortunately, there was a lapse in an insurance, and her aunt and her grandmother are making every effort to get her back on one of their insurances, which would kick in June. So I certainly don't want her to be stuck in jail without her family. She is only 19 years old. She does well, and this was a insurance issue. And we, like I said, we have no objection to the stay away. However, I believe my client would like the opportunity to have contact with her mother if possible. So we would be asking for no further violent contact if that's possible at this juncture. But she does have her aunt and her grandmother. We are asking at this point for a signature bond.
And Your Honor, if I may briefly, the victim did again say this isn't the first time that the defendant has been violent toward her. The victim is specifically requesting no further contact here.
All right. I will order the $1,500 surety bond. And I'm sorry, that's on each of the charges. So that would be a total of 3,000 surety bond, 1,500 on each of the charges. Stay away from the incident location. No further contact with the victim, Contrell Weathersby. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or drugs while on bond, except for those prescribed. And I think that's all I order right now.
And Your Honor, she does have an alternative address. It sounds like this was her third. I guess want to put it on the record to emphasize this is just her third cycle. We would have liked the opportunity for her to go live with her grandmother and aunt and get the help that she needs, that she would probably not, the support she wouldn't be getting in jail.
Right. Or have you been in contact with either of them?
Not today, Judge, but I'm happy to call them during one of Mr. McLean's cases.
Right, I understand. I guess what you're saying about an insurance lapse. And I don't know if that's the only reason for coming off the medication or not. Just want to make sure with that. And I guess if you could get in contact with one of them to know they're prepared to take her and to let her reside with them and be compliant with her medication, I might be able to reconsider the surety bond. But I don't want to do it without knowing that she's gonna have support and get the help.
Okay, Your Honor. I'll be sure to call them during one of Mr. McLean's cases.
Okay, and then let me know. I may reconsider.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Position
Number 10.
10. This is 25 CR 002910E, Marquise McCoy. One count of failure to change name or address on driver's license, a light violation, and driving while license suspended or revoked.
Uh, 7. So McCoy has the probation hold.
Oh, I see.
2024 theft by taking 19 fade to appear.
All right, State.
Yes, Your Honor. State's going to ask for $500 surety for the failure to change address, $500 surety for the light violation, $500 surety for the driving while license suspended. On May 21st, 2025, Officer Willis was on vehicle patrol in the Cleveland Avenue area when he observed a white vehicle, the defendant's vehicle, operating with the high beams on. The officer noticed the vehicle was driving westbound on Cleveland Avenue as he was eastbound on Cleveland Avenue with the high beams on, and the driver failed to dim his headlights. Now, the officer flashed his headlights as a friendly reminder to the driver to dim the high beams, to which he failed to do so. He also observed the vehicle failed to turn down the high beams within 500 feet of oncoming traffic. The officer then proceeded to make a U-turn to get behind the vehicle and pull him over. And then the officer asked for his license and inquired if the 205 Habitat Circle address was his current address, to which he stated no. The defendant then provided him a new address that he advised the officer that he was living there for the past 8 months, which is 6 months past the 60-day requirement. The officer then found what his license was suspended for FTA, and then 2 prior suspensions as well. I think it was May 16, 2024 and September 13, 2024. The defendant has history out of Louisiana. It was multiple unauthorized use of a motor vehicle charges. The state is going to ask simply for no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
PD McLean.
Your Honor, he does have local, other than being in college in Louisiana. He's been in Georgia pretty much all his life. He's got family here. They've got the Atlanta exchanges on their phone numbers, and he, of course, lives here. He has some college, 3 years, music production and psychology at Southern, and in Louisiana. Also, he's taking courses at Savannah State here in Georgia. He works in the security industry right now, unarmed security. He goes to a certain location and is present and it's a bank. He has for 3 years done customer service in person, not over the phone, and he was a flight attendant as well. We would ask the court under these circumstances that a signature bond. Thank you.
Well, I guess he's not going anywhere with the probation hold, Mr. McLean.
Well, he is hopeful to take care of that pretty quickly, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to order $1,500 signature bond. And with that signature bond, it'll be through the jail. And that'll be $500 on each of the charges. And with the 1,500 signature bond through the jail, no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And no driving unless he has the proper license and registration or requirements in order to drive. Otherwise, he should not be driving. I guess that's it.
Thank you.
Number 14.
Congratulations.
This is 25 CR 002911G. This is Richard Spotsville, charged with 2 counts of giving a false name or address, 1 count of battery, and 1 count of criminal trespass.
13. You got to open battery DV. It's 24 CR 000473G. Open simple battery 25 CR 000214G. Open obstruction, public drunk, disorderly conduct. 25 SC 0000698. Got an open driving without a valid license out of East Point. 2018 assault causing bodily injury conviction. 2013 robbery conviction. I saw a bench warrant out of corner cell, so that's it.
Okay. State.
Yes, Your Honor. State's going to ask for $1,000 surety bond for giving false name, $1,000 surety for for the other count of giving false date of birth, $2,000 surety for the battery, and a $500 surety bond for the criminal trespass. This occurred on May 22nd, 2025. Officer was dispatched to 17892 McClellan Avenue in East Point, and upon arrival, the officer met with Vernon Lamar, who was standing in the parking lot with the defendant. They also observed that the defendant frantically was pacing back and forth throughout the parking lot, and after pulling Lamar to the side, she advised that she called the police because she and Spotsville, the defendant, got into a verbal argument, and she was scared that it would turn physical. Now, Lamar advised that she had confronted Spotsville about cheating, and he got mad at her. Lamar advised that Spotsville began to throw items around the apartment and told her she needed to leave. Then Lamar advised that she was just going to leave to mediate the situation, but called 911 when Spotsville threatened to fight her. Lamar advised during the argument, Spotsville snatched her keys from her hand and then ended up cutting her in between her ring and pinky finger. Now, the officers did observe the cut and the blood. The officer asked Spotsville for his name and date of birth. Spotsville advised that his name was Vernon Lamar with the birthday 12/16/1996. He gave the officer his girlfriend's name and the wrong year and date of birth. And he did it twice. And the officer ran it through NCIC and GCIC and didn't come back to anything. So at this point, officers learned that he was concealing his identity, and he was subsequently arrested. I did note some Texas criminal history, including a 2007 arrest for criminal trespass and evading arrest, 2009 escape while arrested conviction, 2013 robbery, evading arrest conviction, and 2018 assault causing bodily injury. He has a warrant, what I've noted, out of Duluth, and an open January 2025 case against the same Vernon Lamar regarding simple battery family violence. State's going to ask for no further contact with the victim, anger awareness, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
All right. PD McLean.
Thank you, Honor. He is 33, has an associate's degree. He also, Your Honor, for 3 years has worked at one of the major universities locally here, doing parking deck operations, and also before that worked as a chef at restaurants here in Atlanta. We understand what the arrest history is. He's Georgian, and he has his family here in Georgia. We would ask the court to consider as low a bond as possible. If a signature bond is not possible, which of course we do ask for, but if the signature bond is not possible, we would suggest something in the range of about $1,000 surety bond to assure his return to court on time.
All right, I am going to order a $3,500 surety bond. That'll be $1,000 on the false name, false date of birth, and the battery, and $500 on the criminal trespass. So that'll be $3,500. I'm going to order him to have no further contact with the victim, and I guess is stay away from the incident location. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
Can somebody clarify the stay away address?
Do we have a stay away address, or?
Noted that this took place 1789 McClellan Avenue, East Point. 1789-2, actually. So let me take a look.
Yeah, he lives elsewhere. So Staley's fine.
Yeah, that's what I have. 1789-2 McClellan Avenue, East Point. As long as he's not having contact with the victim, is what the state would like.
Well, that's what I had, no further contact. All right, that should do it.
Position number 4, Henderson, is a waiver.
And Your Honor, I just wanted to point out that for position 15, Miss Weathersby is on the line whenever you're ready.
All right, let's address that one first.
ACDC back on still? ACDC? And they had to take her back.
Yeah.
I don't know, can courtroom 2 call out there to ACDC?
Can you all call them courtroom 2?
Stand back.
Okay.
Your Honor, I do have
You have a what now?
I have a housekeeping question of my own.
Okay.
I'm wondering, did we find Mr. Shaw?
We did call courtroom 2 so you can interview him.
Okie doke, I'll call 2060.
Do we have anything we want to do while we're waiting on ACDC?
ACDC did not pick up the phone, so I don't know what's going on.
We could do Miss Harris is still on, Nicholas Harris's mom.
Okay. Let's go back to Nicholas Harris, position 3. It is that Mr. Harris in courtroom 2 or no?
You just.
No.
Are we able to get him back at all?
Okay, Your Honor, I just want to ask for clarity. I think I heard Mr. Henderson position 4 was going to be a waiver.
Yes.
Okay. And did we hear anything on position 2, Mr. Griffin? Not yet.
I have not.
Griffin is a reset. He, wanted to go back, so he's gone back.
Okay, Griffin's a reset till tomorrow. I mean, till Tuesday.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
I'm sorry, tomorrow's Saturday.
Tomorrow is Saturday.
Yeah, it'll be reset to tomorrow, which is the
Okay.
24th. That's Saturday.
Well, if you want, who's representing the waiver?
That's PD McLean's case, Your Honor.
Okay.
Ms. McLean, did you send me the waiver? If not, can you please send it to Katrina Lewis, please?
I think he's interviewing
Oh, that's right. He's interviewing.
the other defendant. ASG Allen,
Yes, Your Honor.
we have Ms. Harris on, who is, I believe, the mother of
Nicholas Harris.
Mhm. Who was defending Mr. Harris?
That's
I
Ms.
am, Your
McLeod.
Honor.
Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor.
And deputies, are you trying to get Mr. Harris back or no?
Someone going to get him now.
Oh, okay. Well, let's hold on a second. They are going to get him.
We can go ahead and do number 13 while we wait.
Okay.
Right there until she call.
All right, this is 25 CR 002907A. Mr. Shaw, charge of 1 count of criminal trespass, 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce.
I got first arrest. Jail with the recommendation for these charges.
Okay. State.
It's position 13, correct?
Yes.
I believe that's Ms. Dunlap. Let me make sure.
I'm sorry?
I believe that's Ms. Dunlap. Let me make sure.
Oh. You're on mute.
Okay, I think it's working now. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. And this is Mr. Nawaz, Nawaz?
Yes.
Mr. Shah Nawaz.
Nawaz. Okay, sorry about that. This
Shah.
incident date looks like happened this morning at 70 Hamilton East Holmes Drive Northwest in Atlanta. This is the Martha H.E. Home Station. Originally, the defendant was charged with criminal trespass and marijuana possession. I did NOD the marijuana possession. Officers were dispatched by rail control via the CCTV and spoke to the supervisor at the eastbound platform in reference to the defendant, who went behind the emergency gates labeled "Do Not Enter," located on the far west end of the eastbound platform, and pushed the de-energize button, causing all the power to the rails to shut down and stopping all the traffic to enter or exit the station. The possession charge was based on they found 2 rolled blunts in his pocket and he smelled of marijuana. The state is looking for a $2,000 signature bond through the jail on the criminal trespass. We're going to ask for a stay away from this station, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond, and that'll be it for us, Your Honor.
All right. PD McLean.
No objection, Your Honor. He does have local contacts, local address that he lives in and pays the rent. He's got friends, and he has a job here.
All right. I will order that $2,000 signature bond through the jail. I will order him to stay away from the Hamilton E. Holmes MARTA station while on bond. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I think that'll be it.
Judge, the breakdown's $1,000 on each charge.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
There should
No,
only
no,
be
no,
one.
there's only one charge. The criminal trespass, she NOD, she said the possession. So it's just 2,000 on the criminal trespass.
The criminal trespass is NOD?
No,
No.
possession of marijuana.
He has 2 charges on the calendar.
We have criminal trespass and possession of marijuana. What do you have?
Correct. Yeah, and it's $1,000 on each charge, right? Or $2,000
it's-
SOB through the jail.
Okay, so there's a criminal trespass and marijuana possession. I NOD'd the marijuana possession this morning. I'm gonna send that NOD over, but it wasn't filed down. So it was just
Oh,
supposed to be the
okay.
criminal trespass.
Apparently it was filed down because it's on my calendar.
Oh, okay. So then it'd just be a 1,000 SOB jail on the criminal trespass.
This is a mess.
Does that clear it up, Ms. Lewis?
Did you send an NOD letter to the jail?
But I still have it to send. It
We'll
wasn't.
send whatever it needs to be, whether it's an NOD or a null pros, because it was
It was filed down, that's what I'm saying.
accused.
It needs to be null pros now since y'all filed it down.
That's absolutely fine. We'll send whichever is needed momentarily. He should have a second charge. You'll receive that in a moment, and it sounds like he's got $1,000 bond.
Thank you.
Right.
Position number 7 is, position number 3 is back in the courtroom, Mr. Harris.
Okay. All right, this is Mr. Nicholas Harris, and this case number is 25 CR 002913Y, and he's charged with possession of a pistol or revolver by a person 18 years of age, under 18 years of age. He's 17, and I think we have on the Zoom. Are you his mother, Octavia Harris? Ma'am, can you unmute yourself? All right. And I'll swear you in because I had some questions for you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It has come to my attention after we held the initial hearing that Mr. Harris is already out on the UJR bond, and he has certain conditions that I do not want to contradict with the bond that I gave him. And of course, he also, I don't know if you know, Mom, or where he has a bench warrant out of Judge Cox's courtroom, so not going anywhere anyway, but I don't like, if I'm aware, to give contradictory conditions. And I had given him a curfew of 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. And I want to retract that. And he was on a 24-hour curfew. Ms. McLeod, are you aware of that?
I was not aware of that until Miss Allen sent me something, Your Honor.
Yes.
I was not aware of it before the hearing.
Yes. ASG Allen, can you come back on or turn on your camera?
Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
All right, and that he's also on an ankle monitor, and he's also ordered to, I think, do school online or virtually. And my other concern, besides retracting my conditions and being consistent with the conditions that he's already on, is that he was released on that bond to someone else and not to his mother. And what was the name again? ASG Allen?
It may have been a probation officer, but the name, you're absolutely correct, is not Mrs. Harris. It is Deborah Singleton.
Okay, yes, that's correct.
And who is that?
That's his probation officer. I actually had to meet her at Metro RYDC to pick him up
Okay.
so that he could be fitted for his ankle monitor at that time.
Deborah
Okay.
is my coworker. She works in supervision.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And so, is he in your custody or care now, Miss Harris, or not?
I'm honest, I actually haven't seen Nicholas since March the 8th.
And so what I don't want to do again, when we have the information, is to order anything contradictory. And he received a signature bond via the jail only to be released if we knew, you know, about a parent or guardian or someone that he was going to be released to. But I really don't want to do that, to be real honest about it. Because again, I want to make sure not to contradict the previous bond order.
Correct. And had he been released, he would have actually been coming home with me.
All right, so he's not.
Right.
So State, what was your recommendation again?
Your Honor,
Um,
original recommendation was $1,000 surety. Go ahead, Ms. Allen.
No. Go right ahead, young lady.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was
And
$1,000
so,
surety with no alcohol, drugs, or firearms.
right.
Yeah.
And so, Attorney McLeod, I know you're representing Mr. Harris, and I
Yes, Your
hope
Honor.
that you understand what my concerns are. And I certainly don't want to say that he should be released to Miss Harris, because that's probably not going to happen. But I also, don't want that to happen, considering the seriousness of his charges, the bond that he's already on, which will probably be revoked now. And he's not going anywhere anyway, probably.
Yes, Your
And
Honor. I
that's why I
understand.
wanted to readdress it.
We would ask that the bond order mimic the Superior Court bond order. If he's got a probation officer, then that should also be the person listed on this bond order. He was found in possession of a firearm in this case. Police were investigating a shooting that happened a week ago. I believe the young man in front of you has an injured ankle or a messed up ankle. At least that's what he talks to his mom about on the jail phone calls when he calls her and tells her about the other boys that she needs to let them know they need to stop hanging out where they are because the police have them on video from that shooting last week. You just heard from Ms. Harris that she hasn't seen her son since March the 8th. When he did call her from the jail, she asked him why was he in jail and when was he in jail. So clearly she's unable to monitor him, although he's got a 24-hour curfew and an ankle monitor. And he is being investigated as a person of interest related to an aggravated assault from last week and in possession of a firearm while he has an open armed robbery. So the concern is that this young man is not being monitored and is a risk to the public, but also himself. This is a very young person. He also made sure to tell his mom that the gun he was found with is clean.
Yeah, I have very grave concerns, Ms. McLeod, about letting him out or even
Actually
considering
no
the
longer
signature
on an
bond.
ankle monitor. Sorry to
I'm
interrupt
sorry?
you. I said he's
Mhm.
actually no longer on the ankle monitor. The ankle monitor was discarded of in March sometime. So he hasn't been on a monitor since he left my house,
And when did he leave your house?
March the 8th.
And where did he go when he left your house?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay, so no ankle monitor requirement in place at this point.
No,
but
it was
also-
in place. It was in place. He cut the monitor off, so we have not known where he was at to actually find him, to get him back in court, to get the monitor put back on.
Got it. So is it safe to say that you're concerned about his safety and where he is and his whereabouts?
I
and
am.
the fact that he's being unmonitored as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay.
Whenever Nicholas has been released, that's always been my concern. Put him on an ankle monitor. That way, you know where he's at, and I know exactly where he's at. 24-hour house arrest. No, you cannot leave the house. No, you cannot stand on the porch. No, you can't do anything. You can stay inside these walls of this house.
Well, that's what I'm going to order as well. And Ms. Lewis, let me retract the signature bond, please. And Ms. McLeod, that's what I'm going to do. I'll just make it a $2,000 surety bond. And with that $2,000 surety bond, he's to be on a 24-hour curfew. No drugs.
Curfew, a conjunction with what was on the order for the felony charge.
Correct.
He's only allowed to leave for like school, church, work, or medical.
I don't even think it said that, did it?
It said
No, he's on virtual for school, so he wasn't allowed outside for school at all. He
Yeah,
can't
I
even
think
be
it
on
was
school property.
Yeah. It was a 24-hour and only doing school virtually. I didn't see it to be out to go visit his lawyer at all.
He was only able to go visit his lawyer, any court proceedings, doctor's appointments. If it was anything else that like a family event that I wanted him to attend, we have to get permission first.
Okay. And I see Miss Holder's there, and correct me, and I was reading very quickly, Miss Holder. So if it says he can get out to go to court proceedings, see his lawyer, or medical attention, then I'll just mimic that. And Miss Holder, can you second that for me? Because you probably have it more available in front of you than I do. You're on mute.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, this is the mother of someone else who we haven't addressed.
Oh,
yet.
that's not, I'm sorry. That's not the person from pretrial. I apologize.
No worries.
I'm sorry.
Judge, I have the order exact what Miss
Okay.
Allen
do?
sent to me, so
Thank you.
I write it correctly on our order.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I don't want to say anything else that wasn't on that order.
Are you all finished with Mr. Harris?
Yes, we are. Anything else, Ms. McLeod, or the state?
Nothing else, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
That
So he
concludes
will
my
remain in
business before the
custody,
court
Judge?
today. May I be excused?
Yes, you may. Thank you. And thank you, Ms. Harris, for getting on. I appreciate your time.
And he will remain in
Thank you.
custody.
He will remain in custody, yes.
Okay. All right.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Thank you. Mhm.
Good afternoon, Judge. I have position number 15, Weathersby, back here in front of you.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor. Her aunt is on the call. I believe you wanted to confirm some information with her to see if the court was willing to reconsider.
Okay. And her aunt is Miss Holder.
It's Miss Weathersby.
Miss
Alicia Weathersby.
Weathersby. Oh,
Yeah.
I see at the top. I apologize. I just want Miss Holder to be someone else today, so I apologize, Miss Holder. All right. All right. Miss Weathersby. I should have
Yes.
seen the same name. All right. You raise your right hand for me, ma'am. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Put your hand down. And you are the aunt of, is it Contrice Weathersby?
Yes.
and that is 25 CR 0029128. And she is charged with 1 count of simple battery family violence, the 2nd count of battery family violence. And I had ordered for her to have a $3,000 surety bond, but I was going to look at some other factors. And I think her attorney explained that there was some insurance lapse and things of that nature regarding her to be medical compliant, and she has support from you as well as possibly a grandmother. So I wanted to make sure that she doesn't have any violent history, I don't believe. And is that right?
Yes.
Right.
So
And
what
so
now?
I said, I thought Weathersby, did she not have any violent history or
It's a
did she?
third arrest. She got an open
Mhm.
trespass in Clayton County. Open 2 counts of simple assault in Clayton County.
Oh, 2 counts of simple assault, so maybe she does. I'm not for sure the circumstances of the simple assault, but I was going to reconsider and look at some other issues to see if she was going to get support from her family to manage her MH and be medical compliant. And so do you all have something in place for her?
Yes, her doctor's office just called in her medication, the correct medication to Walmart. So we have to go pick that up today.
All right. And I was concerned about her age. I know that she's only 19. So I had concerns that where would she reside? Where would she go live? With whom?
She'll come live with me.
Okay. Is that where she had been residing?
No, she was home with her mom.
Okay. So she will come and live with you because I was going to, and I believe, did I order her to stay away or no, and no further contact, right, Ms. Lewis?
That's correct, Judge. You ordered to stay away from her resident and no further contact with her mother, and a one-time return with law enforcement officer to retrieve any personal belongings. But we have to
Okay.
make sure that we get the aunt's
Yeah, I
address
was gonna say,
or
Ms. Weathersby,
court
we would,
notices. So if she can send that information to the PD or the PD gets it to me so we can update the address in the system so she'll know what her next court date will be.
I'm happy
all right.
to send you an email with that address.
Yeah, you can send the email to me, to Katrina Lewis. I
Okay.
appreciate that.
And so, Ms. Weathersby, as long as you're willing and ready to assume and I've used the word a little lightly, custody or care of Miss Weathersby, your niece, then I would reconsider and release her to you.
Okay, yes, I can assume that responsibility.
All right. So I will change that, Miss Lewis, to a $3,000 signature bond. And with that signature bond, I would have to run that through pretrial, correct? For the restrictions.
Pretrial? Mr. Howard, you got an answer?
I don't know. Judge, you can do whatever you want to do.
They say that sometimes, but I will do the $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1.
Level 2. She got open
Level
cases.
2. Okay. Level 2 per judge. And they'll explain that to you, Ms. Weathersby, what that means at level 2 as far as her reporting and pretrial keeping up with her.
Okay.
And I'm going to order that she stay compliant with her medication and treatment. And that, again, she has no further contact with her mother. Is it Contrell Weathersby? And that she stay away from her location, her residence, as well as where she works, and that she can reside with her aunt who will assist her.
Now, is her aunt co-signing or it's just her to be down?
No, I don't, she doesn't require a cosigner. I just wanted to make sure she would be getting some support. And we can put in there that she will be residing with her aunt Alicia Weathersby just for information purposes. And then put her address so that we know that's going to be the address for the defendant. All right, anything else that I need to address?
Thank
Nope.
you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you everyone for cooperating with me at ACDC and at courtroom 2 for bringing the defendants back. I apologize, hope it didn't cause too much confusion.
William D. Number 3, Griffin.
Two.
Oh, I'm sorry, number 2.
Okay,
Okay, wait.
Y'all went back and got him?
Yeah, I thought he waived.
I
Mr.
thought he
Griffin.
was reset.
Reset, yeah.
Apparently they went and got him.
Okay, well, the
Let's go on.
victim just got off of the call.
She just signed.
Is this Griffin? Or
Yes, this
Are
is
you?
position 2.
You're- Okay, this is Malcolm Griffin.
That is number
Is
2,
that-
Malcolm Griffin.
Can you respond, Mr. Griffin? Okay. Do we have to wait a second for the ASG?
Hello?
All right, we hear you, Mr. Griffin. So whose case is this from the state?
It's my case, Your Honor.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess we could probably just proceed even though the victim got off of the call. He heard him say he was
Oh,
reset.
that was the victim, the one that
Yes.
I was trying to give to every other case. Oh, wow. Because she heard the reset. Any way that someone can call her back by chance?
It's Delton Fame. Let me see if our advocate. Just give us a second.
All
Your
right.
Honor, while she's doing that, can I briefly ask about, I think it's Holder? Is it, I'm missing one of my cases. Was it taken? Yeah, Kentrell Holder.
Yes, I interviewed him during the calendar. Is he in courtroom 2?
Yes, he's here as well.
Okay, and then McWither is a waiver, I'm guessing?
For Mr. Holder?
No, I was asking
Oh.
about the other one. There was another one I was missing on my calendar I hadn't seen come up yet. Christopher McWither, I think first name.
The holder's position number 7.
Okay.
I think McLean has
Mr.
McWither. Yeah.
McWhirter, he just asked that we go in a breakout. McWhirter? He just asked that we do a breakout with him.
McWhorter, sorry, apologize.
Okay, so I think they're all accounted for now.
Where y'all get Holder from? He wasn't on the pool sheet.
Position 7.
Kentrell Holder, loiter and prowling.
You're correct, Mr. Howell. He was not on the pool sheet, but they accused his case and they put it on the counter.
Yes, he wasn't on my poll sheet. He wasn't on my poll sheet either. But I was made aware to interview him during the calendar, and I was able to do so. And his parents,
They're still on
yes,
the line.
his mother is still on the line. Yes.
I apologize, Ms. Holder. All right, who are we with now? We're with Mr.
Position number 3. I mean, number 2. Mr.
Thank you. Mr.
Can we-
Griffin.
Yeah, can we do Holder while the victim's advocate reaches out to the victim in Mr. Griffin's case? If you guys are ready for Holder, which is, I think you guys said 7.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, this is Kentrell Holder.
Yes, Judge.
All right, 25 CR 002918F. Charged with 1 count of loiter and prowling.
I didn't have any history on him unless Mr. Howard sees something.
First, okay.
I didn't even know he existed, so I have nothing. I don't know nothing about him.
Okay, yeah, I
Okay.
didn't have any history on him. Incident
No
date
history.
happened- The incident date happened earlier today at 352 Gibson Street, Southeast in Atlanta. Officers responded to a prowler call at the location. They spoke with the caller and Mr. Elijah Staggers, who pointed up the stairs and led the officers to the condos and said an unknown male was sleeping in his mother's car and was now attempting to enter other residents' condos. Officers walked up the stairs. They found the defendant standing behind the front gate near the front door of someone's condo. Officers stated the defendant was crying. They asked him why he was going in other people's cars and on the property, and he stated that his God ordained him to do it. The victim whose car it was, Miss Khadijah Chase, stated that she was headed to the car. She noticed him lying in the back seat, went to go get her son, who was the one who called 911, and another male, I guess, opened up car door and took the defendant out of the car. The state is looking for a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial. We're going to ask for an MHET, just given his statement to the police. And we're going to ask for a stay away from this address. I'll say no further contact with Miss Khadijah Chase since he was sleeping in the back of her car. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
All right.
And Your Honor, we don't object to the signature bond. And the only reason I asked his parents to log in was just in case, because I knew that he had a good address and he had familial support, and it was just in case Your Honor needed to confirm that information, but we don't have an objection to what the state has asked for at this point, the signature bond.
And how old is Mr. Holder?
He's 21 years old.
21. So he's young. All right. What about the MHET? We say much more. I'm gonna have to go in the chat or either turn off the live stream because I don't want to go into that subject matter in open court with the live stream. So is he going to have support from his parents for that to address that?
He does have
Go ahead,
familial
Petey, first.
support. I'm not sure if there will be any financial hindrances. I did not have that conversation with his mother.
All right. Ms. Holder, are you going to be able to address the needs of your son, whatever those may be? That's a yes or no.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
without going into any more detail, you're aware of what I'm concerned about and making sure he gets that addressed somehow.
Yes. Yes. Well, no, when you're saying MATT, I don't know what that is. So
Okay. Ms. Lewis, can you stop the live stream, please?
Judge, we have other people on the line that's not court personnel, so we may need to go into.
We have to go in a breakout.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's go in a quick breakout.
I just want to be clear. I'm sorry.
So
That's
Judge,
okay.
you going in the breakout?
Ms. Holder, PD, is it Bardier?
Yeah, better. Yeah, no worries.
Batter. I apologize.
People who
And
waving their hands.
ASG,
you,
everybody
Ms.
who's
Lewis.
waving, ASG Allen,
Miss Dunlap, thank you.
Ms. Dunlap,
Okay.
and Ms. Lewis.
Yes, I know Miss Lewis.
You know her. Thank you.
Ms. Burgess? Are you there? Ms. Kia Burgess? Are you there? Ms. Burgess? Kia?
She signed on, Miss Lewis, but she probably
Because
stepped
we need
away.
her in the breakout room. That's why I was trying to get in touch with her. We need, they need a social worker in the breakout room.
Mhm.
here.
Okay, Miss Grace is gonna put you in the breakout room. We need your assistance on some information to help at this point. She's gonna put you in the
Okay.
breakout room.
All right, we have Mr. Holder.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, they're wanting to see him. Were you aware of that, Deputy?
He's
Can you
right
hear,
here.
Deputy? Yes, they're wanting to see him.
Oh, I took off.
Hold on.
Okay. I think she's probably getting a message now.
Well, who wanted to see him, Judge?
We're requesting a MH, and they want to see him on that floor.
Oh,
They were asking if he could be brought.
I mean, what you mean, sent back to housing?
No, can you call to the MH floor or to the
Oh, are you, do he have a bond set so you can go there?
yes. I just issued a 2,000 signature bond through the jail based on evaluation first, and hopefully to be released to the adequate location or facility where he
Okay.
can receive further evaluation.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Can we go to, Mr. Griffin, position number 2 case?
Yes.
Excuse me, Judge, do I need to stay on?
Are we?
He's
maybe
gone.
not? No, we have the number now.
Mhm,
So
yes.
someone will be in contact with you. And our condolences again. And as they say, stay strong.
Thank you. Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
You're
Okay.
welcome. Take care. All right. All right. And thank you, Ms. Burgess.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
Okay, I know, right? Don't get to see you as much anymore. All right. We are going to go to position 2, Malcolm Griffin, 25 CR 002914J. He's got 2 counts of, no, I'm sorry, 1 count of simple assault, 1 count of simple battery.
37. On probation for armed robbery, ag assault. It's 2017 entering auto financial transaction card fraud conviction. 2015 robbery conviction. 2014 simple battery against police conviction. 2014 terrorist threats conviction. 2013 simple battery against police conviction.
Okay. Stay.
Your Honor, this event occurred on May 22nd, 2025. Officers responded to the area of 508 Main Street Northeast for a report of a prior assault and a suspect that's been criminally trespassed before being back on property. The incident location is an apartment complex. It's Avana, Maine. Upon arrival, officers spoke with the call-in party, Mr. Deldon Fain, who is a security officer for the apartment complex, and he stated that the defendant assaulted him when he confronted him about being back on the property. He informed officers that the defendant has been around the property all week and has been asked to leave several times. He's not a resident of the apartment complex, and the apartment complex and security there believe he's squatting in a vacant apartment because there's a unit that keeps getting broken into. Mr. Fain asked Mr. Griffin, the defendant, to leave the property while they were both outside. The defendant threw a big stone rock that he had in his hand at Mr. Fain. Mr. Fain was able to dodge the rock, but then subsequently the defendant punched him in the face. We did speak to Mr. Fain. He was on Zoom with us earlier. He did state that the defendant keeps coming onto the property and the sidewalk, and he's sitting on people's porches. They do believe he's trying to access unit 2123, but he does not live at the apartment complex. He asked for no contact with the defendant, and they want him to stay away from the apartment complex. The state's recommendation is a $2,000 signature bond, no contact with the victim or any member of the security team at Avana, Maine. Stay away from the incident location, which of course is this apartment complex at 508 Main Street Northeast. No alcohol, drugs, or firearms while the defendant is out on bond. And we won't need to sound for Mr. Fain. He's no longer in court with us today. That'll be all for
Okay. All right. PD Bader, Barter.
Yes, Your Honor. We have no objection to the recommended bond in this case. And I do have Mr. Griffin's contact information. And I am submitting a social worker request to potentially get him into PAD, Judge.
Okay. That helped me because I was not comfortable, honestly, doing the signature bond with that many cycles. I don't know. He's on probation for armed robbery and aggravated assault.
I believe that's what pretrial said. I think I heard armed robbery, but not sure about the ag assault.
What's the question?
He's on probation for armed robbery and ag assault, correct?
Yeah, all
This
that. 18 SC
Right.
162846.
I'm just not sure. I mean, I hope he gets into PAD, but I guess they need to interview him. Is that right? Is that what we're holding on?
Yes, PAD will have to interview them, but they typically don't take people on probation. I don't know if this case would be a probation, but I could still do a referral and see if they would consider him. But
Looks like he is on probation. He got 14 years.
Ms. Burgess, do you mean on a different, you mean if he was on probation for
yeah,
this
for this
case?
case, yes.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
he,
No, I think, yeah, right.
yeah, not if he had
Alright.
to pass probation, but if this case was to be a probation case, they wouldn't take him.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood that.
I'm
Sorry.
sorry.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I guess for that reason, I will go along with the state's recommendation of the $2,000 signature bond through the jail.
Oh, Your Honor, I'm sorry. We recommended a surety, a $2,000 surety. But whatever you're inclined to do.
And that's what I kept saying. The state recommended signature bond for 37 cycles.
Oh, no, ma'am. I'm sorry. I didn't even hear that.
That was my first statement, and I
Yes,
wasn't
a surety.
Yeah, that's
I
what
must have
we've heard.
misspoke because I remember now you said you agree. Yeah, I'm sorry. Our recommendation is a $2,000 surety.
Well,
I would like for him to get into PAD if he could.
do you know if does PAD take people who are it's easier for them to be accepted into PAD if they're not in custody. That's my recent experience. Is that
I mean, they'll come out and interview him, but if just say that this case, he'll have to be done with this case. So they'll probably come and interview him, and then he probably will have to take a plea, but with no probation. So as long as the plea or whatever doesn't involve a probation, then no. They only take people their cases are done with and no probation.
And see, I've done prior orders where we released them to PAD.
And then their case probably was dismissed or done, but I still say that we could put a referral in and see what they say. I mean,
ASG Allen.
You guys are the experts. We recommend a signature bond, and that's what I mean, a surety because of his criminal history. But obviously, if there are resources he needs, we're on board for that. And if we find new paths to resources, that's great.
if I do a referral, they're gonna come out to the jail to see him. So if he
That's
gets
great.
out, then he will probably have to go to them. So I mean, he will have to go to PAD if he's out of jail. But if for me to do a referral, they'll come and see him in the jail. Well, he's waiving. Maybe he doesn't want to go to PAD. I don't know.
Let's see.
and Judge, we go
ahead.
Hi, Judge.
Yes.
Your Honor. I mean, I ain't got no money in my name. I don't got no bank account. I don't got no ID. I ain't got no social security card. That's the reason why I was squatting in that house like that. I admit to that. I admit
Sir, don't talk about your case, sir.
Look, I ain't
Sir,
got.
this isn't the time to talk about your case.
I gotta get out the streets. I've been in the streets since I was 17. I ain't got nowhere to go. I'm trying to get my life together. That's the reason why I've been over there. I don't want to sleep on the
All right,
sidewalk.
so Judge, I would say to let them, don't give them, and we can see about
Okay.
getting a referral to
All right.
Pat to see if they can assist them.
Okay, and then what they can do is they can submit, we can modify it once we know whether or not he's going to pay
Yeah,
it.
and I'll go talk to him before I do the referral just to see if it may be another option besides Pat.
Not nothing.
Right.
Hey, Judge.
But
I'm just
I'm not, hey, Judge.
If we
But
can
okay.
mute courtroom two at this point, I think we have the information we need.
All right. I will order the $2,000 surety bond and have him speak to Pat to see if they can provide some resources. And then just put in there, Ms. Lewis, they will submit a modified bond order if we need to in order for him to get proper resources to assist. Some language like that in the order so that they know that there's a possibility that we need to amend it so that he can get resources or go where he needs to go. Okay. And again, stay away from the Bono Main Street and no further contact with anyone there. And just stay away from that location. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
Can we
And,
do number 4, the waive, Mr. Henderson?
yes. (25 CR 0029178) Brandon Henderson, charge of 1 count of stalking, 2 counts of criminal trespass. And let's see.
This is 10th arrest. He has an open trespass, 25 CR 002-633H. I think it's the same victim as this one. Lotsie Law sent the sent the bond surrender, but I still have to do it
I saw
myself.
that actually.
Yeah, I know, right?
She said he's on C today, so yeah.
Yeah, 2021 disorderly conduct conviction, 2018 trespass nolo. But yeah, I'm about to send out the bond surrender now.
Okay, Your
All
Honor,
right.
this event occurred on May 21st, 2025. Officers responded to a trespassing call at 2792 Red Wine Road, East Point, Fulton County, Georgia. The victim in this case is Miss Latoya Watley. She stated that the defendant was trespassed from her property and notified dispatch that he left prior to officers responding to the scene. When officers did arrive, she gave a description of what the defendant was wearing, and they conducted a safety check in the area and did locate the defendant across the street from where Ms. Watley stated she's seen him. Ms. Watley told officers that the defendant had been known to squat around her residence. She stated several times for the defendant to leave off her property. On April 20th, 25, he was given a verbal trespass warning. That case number is 25003986. Ms. Watley states that the defendant has just been ignoring the trespass warning. He's been arrested on May 12th for violating the trespass order. He was released from jail actually 4 days ago on the 17th for the criminal trespass on the 12th. And he came back to her property twice on the 17th and the 19th. She stated she notified the police department, but he was not arrested those times. He was let off with a warning. She'd seen him laying down on her front lawn and she asked him to remove himself. He got extremely violent and told her to shut up and made another verbal threat. She ran in the house and actually grabbed a knife to arm herself just in case it escalated any further. But when she looked outside, the defendant was gone. This is not his first time exhibiting violent behavior towards her while he's on her property. But the victim in this case is actually 9 months pregnant. And she spoke with us today. She stated that she is very leery of the court's orders for him to stay away because he keeps defying them. She expressed the concern that he showed up to her house multiple times after he was released and informed to not come on her property. She does have children in the home and she feels for the safety of her children. I do want to note that when police were transporting the defendant to jail, they did actually note that he was showing signs of mental impairment and having extreme outbursts. They even put a note on his intake forms for a psychological evaluation. Due to that and his previous criminal history and the persistent showing up on the same property, the state's recommendation is actually a $2,000 surety bond. We have concerns of him being released. We were asking for no alcohol, drugs, or firearms while on bond, no contact with the victim, a stay away from the accident location, but we're really asking for a social worker visit to determine, to conduct a BHET, and see if there's any services available for this defendant. But we don't think that him being able to, well, I mean, he has hold, so it's gonna be okay. But we didn't want to ask for a signature bond in this case because we are concerned about his mental health. And we would sound for the victim. I don't believe she's joined us in court today, but that'll be all for the state, Your Honor.
All right. TV?
Thank you, Your Honor. He has an address on Redmond, 40 years old. We would note that he's been working on his GED. He's almost there. He did go to high school at a local high school and then did make the effort of working on his GED, and he hasn't quite finished it. Something came up. Not opposed to the social worker idea. He works through temporary agencies, so he tries to be industrial, and he actually is industrial and does work. We have a number for a friend of his, and we're trying to get hold of his family. They're local. We asked the court to consider the lowest possible bond that would be appropriate. If that's not a signature bond, then we would ask the court to consider something like $1,000. Thank you. And when he does waive his presence today.
All right. I'm going to certainly order a surety bond so we can hold a second to get him evaluated. I'm going to order a BHUT so the social worker can go visit. But I'm going to make this a $4,000 surety bond, $2,000 on the stalking, $1,000 on each of the criminal trespass charges. So a total of $4,000. And again, to stay away from the incident location, Red Wine Road. No further contact with the victim there. Is it Latoya Watley?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
What is the actual street number on Red Wine of the incident location?
2792. Yes,
Nope.
Your Honor.
Yeah, 2792. And so hopefully they will get him into some evaluation of some sort so we can find out how we can stop him from going back over there. I don't know if there's a prior connection or just what it is. All right. And is that the
thank you.
last one?
Whitaker.
You said
Besides position number 11, what happened with that one?
McWhorter.
McWhorter.
Yes, what happened with that one?
Your Honor, that's one we need to go off stream or break out.
Is that gonna be waiver presence too?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, I need to get those waiver forms. I didn't receive none of them.
Gonna beat you for those. Yes, yes, yes.
So can I just go over the counter since this is waiver? This is the only thing that's holding. Everything else is done.
Okay.
Since we have to go out in the breakout room, I'm not trying to
Can we just go off the thing? Everybody's court staff.
Oh, is that all we have left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Y'all be in the
yeah.
breakout too
Well,
long.
Melissa, you can stop it.
Be quiet.